What a smorgasbord of amazing 90s technological goodness. Today, we're unboxing Microsoft Windows 3.1.
This isn't just a boring box of floppy disks.
I mean, it kind of is, but it's so much more than that.
Inside this unassuming package lies a collection of artifacts, manuals, guides, and the true jewel of the box, the ads in the Microsoft Showcase catalog.
Most of all, we're going to explore what it truly felt like to bring home a piece of the future during the dawn of the golden age of home computing. This is nostalgia at its finest. Let's crack this time capsule open. Whoops. Imagine walking into your local computer store. It's 1992 and the walls are lined with boxes just like this one. Okay, maybe not quite like this one because obviously my box is a little worse for wear, but its contents are still in pristine condition. Now let's take a look at the back of the box, because we all know that after we would purchase one of these amazing pieces of software at the store, that before you'd open it, you'd spend time just going over every little bit of text that was on the back. Or at least I did. Was it just me? I find this very interesting here. Thanks to lots of customer feedback, the Windows operating system has hundreds of improvements that make it easy to learn and use for advanced users and PC novices alike. And I feel that that's something that you don't see very often nowadays. And I'm sure that this isn't actually the case, but it often feels like a lot of the customer opinions are completely ignored. And this felt a lot more personal. It felt like there was a team that was actively trying to make something for you specifically that helped your life. We feel so detached. And I know that that's inevitable given the scale of technology and how it's evolved over the years, but I still do miss just how personal even something like computing felt back then. Back in the late 80s, Microsoft's earlier versions of Windows, which were 1.0 and 2.0, weren't exactly lighting the world on fire. They were clunky, hard to use, and honestly, most people just stuck to MS-DOS. But then came Windows 3.0 in 1990. It introduced a snazzy graphical interface that actually started to catch on, and by the time Windows 3.1 arrived, Microsoft had begun to perfect the formula. I don't know how much time this box has left. We'll just put it right here. There, that looks pretty, doesn't it? First off, we have 6 floppy disks, each meticulously labeled. These were the lifeblood of your install. We have the first book of Windows 3.1 by Jack Nimmersheim, and I love that there are whole sections in this book dedicated to things as simple as moving the mouse. You needed to learn that. This was new. You had your guide to service and support for users of Microsoft Windows, a Microsoft Windows version 3.1 hardware compatibility list and driver library that was accurate and complete as of May 31st, 1992. And then we have a couple promotional materials. This is to receive a free issue of Inside Microsoft Windows, which was an exclusive 12-page monthly publication that offered a constant flow of fresh ideas, shortcuts, and advice from software experts who explore every nook and cranny of Microsoft Windows. This is a registration card. It only takes a minute, but the benefits go on for years, and you can win a trip to the Bahamas. I wonder if I could still send this in. Oh wait, no. No, offer expires June 30th, 1994. And then we have this, my favorite part, the Windows Showcase catalog. This was basically a Sears wish book for nerds. Let's go through some of the ads and take a look at what was cutting edge in 1992. So we start off strong with a Microsoft Excel ad, and according to Microsoft, Excel feels a little like magic, so that's cool. Here we have an ad for Sound Blaster 16 ASP. It says, "We are not playing games anymore." I believe this was one of the first consumer sound cards to deliver CD quality audio on PC, so pushing past those bleeps and bloops. Next up we have Borland. Nobody does Windows like Borland. Borland Quattro Pro was a spreadsheet program, and what I find interesting is that there were so many companies competing with Microsoft, directly competing with them, and they were still allowed to advertise and even kind of diss them in their own catalog. Quattro Pro for Windows is a better spreadsheet than Excel 4.0, which is something that I don't think we would ever see now, especially for a bunch of ads that come in the box with their own software. This poor magazine's falling apart a little bit. Now here is another spreadsheet program. This is for Lotus. And I thought that this ad was so... Who is the demographic for this ad? Because it says, "So tell me, have you seen a spreadsheet dance? Imagine a spreadsheet that nimbly rotates, cuts, expands, and collapses itself in response to your touch. A spreadsheet that's so in sync with what you're doing, it seems to move with you. Improv from Lotus is that spreadsheet. Who exactly were they selling to? They were obviously trying to go a different route than Borland or Microsoft and make it more personal and poetic, but there's only so much that you can make a spreadsheet program sound like poetry. We have quite a few graphics programs like Freelance Graphics 2.0, a whole ton of programs that were dedicated to integrating your faxing and turning your fax machine into a scanner. This is one of my favorite ads right here. These 2 pages are just beautiful. This one, getting you turned on is our business. And this was for a company that did full service PC configuring. So they want to make sure that you're up and running. And then we have this guy, he's so serious. He's complete security, accident, and virus protection. And we have the tagline, close the windows, lock the DOS. And here's another example of an ad that kind of disses Microsoft. No software product, not even Windows itself, has ever gotten off to a faster start than WordPerfect 5.1 for Windows.
But side note, because this is very interesting, WordPerfect actually had a tough time transitioning to Windows, and part of the blame fell on Microsoft. WordPerfect claimed that Microsoft didn't fully share the APIs needed to make their software run smoothly on Windows. Without them, WordPerfect was slow and clunky on Windows, while Microsoft Word ran like a dream. Convenient, right? So while Microsoft was playing nice by including them in their catalog, behind the scenes they were making moves that ultimately helped WordPerfect's dominance fade. Well, that was rude.
At this point, we're just gonna breeze through a few more of my favorite ads. Are you haunted by project management nightmares? I'm haunted by this ad. Back in the early 90s, finding stock photos wasn't something that was as easy as it is today. But back then, we had these CD-ROMs. And there were 2 options available, both for $59.88. We had Mother Earth 2, which was pictures of Earth. And then we also had Lovely Ladies 2. It says, forget the swimsuit issue. We've got 111 pictures of models in fashion swimwear. Victoria who? This is one of my favorite ads, aesthetically speaking, in the book. I just love this. It's so beautiful. I want this aesthetic to come back. It's simple, it's clean, it's vibrant, it's colorful, it's nostalgic. It brings me joy. My hotcakes are selling like CD-ROM drives. How fun. And look at this cute little toaster with the CD in it. I'm falling apart. Oh no. So this is an ad for a control box that lets you add a second keyboard, monitor, and mouse up to 250 feet away from your PC. So that's why they're holding hands. Introducing the first mouse for Windows that never needs cleaning. It's a unique patented design that uses 2 feet instead of a ball mechanism. It never needs cleaning, and it works perfectly on any surface at any angle. Somehow I strongly doubt that. More logical than Logitech by far. Wow. Of course, Microsoft had to have the last word in regards to its software, so it ends the whole book by saying it's not surprising WordPerfect users are switching to Microsoft Word for Windows. They helped define it. What did you use back in the 90s? Were you Team WordPerfect or were you Team Microsoft Word? Now, this is the first book of Windows 3.1. I'm guessing that this wasn't actually distributed in the Microsoft 3.1 box. It was just that the person I bought it from bought this to learn Microsoft Windows 3.1. And Jack Nimmersheim, the author, had a sense of humor. Will the real Windows please stand up? Let's get gooey. Modem madness. So many things that you had to learn and that we now just take for granted. I love that it's called the first book of Windows 3.1. It sounds so biblical. And now let me read an excerpt from the first book of Windows 3.1. To tell the truth, DOS is a boring operating system. Even the most dedicated DOS advocates, a group within which I hold a charter membership, find it difficult to argue that DOS, a powerful but admittedly ambiguous operating system, offers much in the way of assistance for the inexperienced PC user.
Thank you to my amazing patrons, and thank you for watching yet another episode of Crazy Harke's amazing emporium of total retro madness. And sometimes other things too. How do I get out of here? Hello?